welcome back to my channel. Like always, thank you so much for tuning in again. Today I have a pretty exciting video because I believe 2 days ago I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see either a video of the new Too Faced or the new Jeffree Star palette, and I had so many people tell me Too Faced. I actually didn't know so many of you beautiful people wanted to see a tutorial on the new Natural Love palette. I got this in the mail, I want to say about a week and a half ago, and I've been playing with it. So this isn't a first impression. I've actually had this, and I've had the 3 new highlighters for about a week now. And I actually wanted to play with it because I've heard so many mixed reviews. A lot of people do not like these highlighters, and I feel like it's kind of the same problem as the Kylie Jenner highlighters because they're pretty up there in price. These are $30 and they're actually very natural, subtle highlighters. So if you don't like that, you're definitely not gonna like these highlighters. These highlighters are in no means in your face, loud highlighters. And the palette, well, the palette is something else because I've been playing with it. And when you guys saw me upload a picture of this on Instagram, I went on a little rant saying that I did not like it, and I'm actually going to stand by that. This palette retails for about $59, so it's not cheap by any means. And as beautiful as it is, like, this is the packaging. This is like a velvet material. It is so stunning. And I absolutely fell in love with the color selection when I first saw like sneak peeks of this palette. As you can tell, it's absolutely beautiful. This is going to be a perfect, well, I thought it was going to be a perfect like everyday palette that's going to be beautiful, and the colors are going to be gorgeous and pigmented. I actually was really hoping it would be like the Too Faced chocolate bar because that's everybody's favorite. But honestly, Too Faced has been a little bit lacking in their shadow department, and I'm kind of bummed out just because it is pricey. But I mean, there's some shades in here that are very, very pretty. Like the ones that I used in the demo today, I actually really enjoy. But there's some of them, like this shade right here called Fairy Tale, that is very, I don't know how to describe it. Like you put your finger in it and it's like a glitter bomb. Like as soon as you go into swatch it, it like disappears to nothing. And the thing is, you kind of have to use this with glitter glue, and I feel like that's just a lot of work, especially because I was really hoping this palette would be like an everyday, you kind of grab it and go. But it's completely up to you. Definitely swatch it. I recommend swatching it in stores so you can see what I'm talking about. A lot of these are like this glitter bomb. The shimmers are pretty. They're nice. If you spray your brush with some Fix Plus, you can get really nice pigmentation out of it like I did. And the mattes are nice. They blend. You're gonna have to work with them a little bit more so you can get that nice effortless blend. But definitely, I'm actually going to give this palette a pass. I know a lot of people have been loving it. A lot of people have been hating it. This is definitely just one of those things that I'm not super impressed with. And with the price point, I feel like it could have been a little bit better. Let me give you some swatches. I'm just going to go ahead and swatch. This is Satin Sheets, and it's pretty. It's a very like duochrome color. And when you go ahead and swatch it, you'll see that it's not as pigmented as I want it to be. It kind of shears out to just kind of like a light pink, and then some of the darker shades, like this is Makeup and Chill, and this color is in the Nikki Tutorial palette, and this is its swatch. It has some nice pigmentation, but you definitely do have to work a little bit harder to blend this out. And then we have Love Bug, which is like a mauvey, like taupey kind of purpley gray. And this is its swatch. This one is pretty. This one does have some pigmentation. So it kind of is like a hit and miss. This one is Bunny Nose, and this is like that loud pink in the palette. And this is what this one looks like swatch. They do have a lot of fallout. They do have quite a bit of fallout. So you definitely want to do your eyes before you do your face. This is just some quick swatches. I don't want to go ahead and swatch all of them for you just because that video would be 1,000 hours long, because I did want to include the demo because I do want you to see how these shadows perform. So overall, my opinion on this palette is that I would probably give it a pass. Maybe if you're thinking about getting this palette, I suggest you get like the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which is a cult classic, and it's very, very good. This palette is actually made up of a bunch of shades that are already existing in previous palettes, either discontinued or in like the smaller tin ones, and like I said, the Nikki Tutorial one. So if you have any of those, you're probably going to find repeats in this palette. So if that's something that interests you, I mean, If you don't want to go through that because you already have them, then definitely pass. But if you're looking for a palette that had all of those put together, this is going to be a nice option. I'm not saying it's a terrible palette, definitely by no means is it terrible, but for the price point, I feel like it could have been a little bit better. The shadows could have worked a little bit better. Too Faced has definitely been kind of inconsistent with their game. So that's my final thoughts on that. But let's talk about one more thing before we get into the demo, and it's the highlighters. So this is the packaging of the highlighters. It's a really cute box, and it has like this very metallic finish on it, and I don't know, I like it. I like the packaging. It's kind of bulky, it's kind of chubby, but I think it's nice. And the highlighters, guys, they're kind of really pretty. So this is, I have all three here. So let's start with this one, and this is You Light Up My Life. And this is definitely like the gold one, and this is going to be perfect for medium to deep skin tones. I think it's very, very pretty. And then we have this one right here, and this is Ray of Light. Ray of Light is like a pinky champagne-y. It has like a duochrome kind of effect. It's very pretty. I don't have any like this in my collection, so I was kind of interested in this like pinky shade. This is the one that I've been wearing the most out of all of them, so I actually really like that. And then we have this one, and this is like the silvery white, and this is Blinded by the Light. These are all very pretty, but like I said, they are very, very sheer. So definitely don't get these if you like an intense like Anastasia glow kit or Becca kind of shine on your face. These definitely won't work that way unless you foil them. And once you start foiling them with like Fix Plus, they're gonna kind of look a little bit too heavy, and they will emphasize a little bit of texture. These are like a baked formula. So you can definitely wear them wet, but what I found, especially with this shade, the one that I've been wearing the most, is it will like intensify texture I have on my face. So I'm gonna do a quick swatch for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna swatch this one first, and this is Blinded by the Light. So I'm just running my finger along, and this is how it looks. As you can see, it's very icy, and it's a very cool toned. So this is what it looks like swatched. It's very pretty, very icy. And then the next one we have is Ray of Light. And this is the pinky one. Just doing a little 1-2. And this is what it looks like. This one is definitely more toned down. This is going to be very, very subtle. And this is what it looks like swatched. It'll give you kind of like a lit from within glow with a little bit of pink, which is pretty. It's definitely different. And the last one we have here is You Light Up My Life. And this one is a very true yellow gold, like very, very yellow gold. And this is what it looks like swatch. This one's actually going to give you a little bit more color payoff than all the rest. This one kind of reminds me of the Kylie Banana Split, I believe, just because it is such a true yellow. So I think those are pretty similar. And these are the three. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop some of this one on one side and then a little bit of this one on the other side. And I'm actually going to be using this one in the demo, so you'll see how it applies. So the first one we're going to do is this pinky beautiful one. And I'm just running my brush in it, tapping off the excess because they do have some fallout. I'm just going to bring you in. And that's basically it. Like you can tell, it is very, 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 very subtle. Like you have to move your head a lot so the light catches it at a perfect angle, but that's basically what that looks like. And if you want to go ahead and intensify it, I like to just wet my brush a little bit and then go back into the highlighter and go ahead and pop this on. And you can see it starts giving you a little bit more shine, but it definitely is emphasizing a little bit more texture. These do not have any glitter, but they do emphasize texture. They become a little bit chunky once you foil them, so be aware of that. Don't add too much, but it is nice. I like this color in just like a moderate amount. So the next one we're gonna do is this beautiful yellow gold, and I'm just gonna take a different brush, and this is just my Morphe Y14 brush, and I'm gonna go ahead into this one and go ahead and pop that on my face. Yeah, you can definitely see this one a lot more on my skin tone. And it is a very unique, very yellowy shade. So that's what that looks like, just regular. And I'm gonna go ahead and intensify it. I'm gonna spray my brush a little bit with Fix Plus, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop this on. And again, I'm seeing the same problem. Like this one has the same problem. It is emphasizing some of my texture, and I don't even have a lot of texture on my face, which is the worst part. So kind of be wary of that, and that is what that one looks like. Very pretty. Okay, let's jump into this demo. Okay, so let's get right into the tutorial. I already went ahead and I primed my eyes, and I set my eyes down with the shade Heaven. So Heaven is just going to be this bone color here, and that's what I set my eyes with. And now on a big Morphe brush, this is my Morphe E23 brush. It's just a big fluffy blending brush. We're going to go into Spotlight, and we're going to mix a little bit of Honey Butter. So I'm going to mix these two, and these are going to be my transition colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pop that in the crease. Okay, so now that that's creased, the crease work is done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the color Makeup and Chill. And this is one of the colors from the Nikki Tutorial palette. And on a smaller brush, this is a Morphe E28 brush, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this in the outer corners of my eyes. You have to tap off your brush because these do have quite a bit of fallout, so make sure you tap your brush off so you don't get it all over your face. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buff that color out, and I'm just going to go ahead and just tap the edges. And then I'm going to go into the first brush that I used with the first two shades that I used, and I'm going to buff it. Okay, so now that we have that down, we're going to take this beautiful shade. This is actually called Honey Pot, and it's this gold shade in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead on a Morphe R39 brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray it with a little bit of Fix Plus just because I want more pigmentation, because it kind of lacks in pigmentation. So I'm going to go ahead and just spray my brush a little bit. And now I'm going to go into that shade. I'm going to dip in, tap off the excess again, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it right where we left all the eyeshadow blank. And you can see that super intensified this shadow. I like it a lot more like this. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to further intensify my outer V with Makeup and Chill. And on the first brush that I took, I'm going to go ahead and add my transition colors, and I'm going to buff it to make sure there's no harsh lines. Yep, and that's basically the eye look. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some lashes and some eyeliner, and I'll be right back. And that's basically it. For eyelashes today, I'm using the new Ardell Faux Minx Lashes in 811. I actually really enjoy these. These are very, very pretty. They look very, very natural, which is perfect for this look because I want to keep it easy and on the go and very simple. And then I'm not going to do a wing at all because, like I said, I do want to keep it simple. But before I finish this little demo, I'm going to take the Too Faced, and this is the Love Light highlighter, and then this is in the shade Blinded by the Light, and it's so beautiful. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this on the inner corner. So I'm gonna take a small Morphe E39 brush. It's a teeny tiny little brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of this and I'm gonna pop it on the inner corners of my eyes. I'm not sure if you can see that. They're actually very subtle highlighters, so I'm not expecting it to be super in your face. And that's basically it. And there you have it. That's basically the little tutorial that I wanted to give you guys using the palette. It's everyday wear, it's very natural, and you can definitely add less of the color that I put in my outer V, so you don't have to make it as intense as I did. I think the colors applied very well. You do have to blend a little bit more, and you do have to foil some of the colors, especially the shimmer shades, but as you saw, once I foiled them, I didn't have any problem with blending them out. They were very pigmented. There is a lot of fallout, so please make sure you do your eyes first, or you tap off your brush and you're gonna have to wipe away any excess. But that's basically it. I hope you guys like it. Overall, like I said, $30 for the highlighters. It's completely up to you. If you like a very subtle highlight, definitely try it out. But if you don't really like subtle highlights and you do want to like foil them like I did, please be cautious that these will emphasize some texture on your face. Once you come in closer, you will see, like from far they look very pretty, but they will emphasize some texture, so be very careful with that, especially if you have more texture on your skin. And the palette retails for $59, and honestly, I probably wouldn't repurchase it again. I think that this is definitely a pass for me, just because I didn't like some of the shimmer shades, and I don't like when shadows are just glitter bombs, because I feel like I don't want to have to work in a palette and then have to pull out glitter glue. I feel like that's just too much work. If I wanted glitter, I would use glitter. So overall, those are my opinions. I hope that you find this review helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, leave them down in the comment section. Let me know if you have it. Do you like it? What do you think? I know a lot of you DM'd me saying that you didn't like it, that there was no pigmentation, that it was hard to blend out. So let me know. Sound off down below. I want to hear what you guys have to think. I don't want to feel like I'm the only one who didn't like this palette. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye!